Hi, everybody, welcome back to Ox Talks. I really appreciate you watching the show. Thank you for liking these videos, hitting the thumbs up button for me. Share the videos with people as far and wide as you possibly can. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are, as I say, every day growing this community. Appreciate your comments. They're very intelligent. They're very detailed. I am doing my best to review all those throughout the day and respond as time permits. So again, thanks guys for the support. Let me address a very, very important topic that has to do with Walgreens pharmacies. And this is a story that was released this morning on CNBC. It says, CNBC. It says Walgreens on Tuesday reported fiscal fourth quarter sales and adjusted profit that beat Wall Street's expectations as the company slashes costs in an attempt to steer itself out of a rough spot. I'm going to share the article with you because they're very several important points. But you understand that when the stock goes up, a lot of times that's to the detriment of employees, to the detriment of its customers and consumers, okay? It says the retail drugstore chain also said it plans to close roughly 1,200 stores over the next 3 years, which includes 500 stores in fiscal 2025. The company said that those closures will be immediately accretive to its adjusted earnings and free cash flow. Walgreens has around 8,700 locations in the United States, a quarter of which it says are not profitable. 25% of Walgreens pharmacies, they're saying, are not profitable. I pulled up from Locations Cloud the number of pharmacies as of September 30th of 2024. There were 8,578 Walgreens pharmacy locations in 53 states and territories of the United States. The highest number of Walgreens pharmacies locations in the United States are in Florida and Chicago, with 802 locations and 123 stores respectively. Florida makes up approximately 9% of all Walgreens pharmacies located in the United States. We do have them here, in California as well. And a comment below, do you guys use Walgreens as your go-to drugstore and pharmacy? It says these closures will give Walgreens a healthier store base and will enable us to respond to shifts in consumer behavior and buying preferences. That's code for the consumers are broke and they can't afford the products anymore. According to the company's CEO, Tim Wentworth. By the way, he didn't say that. I just added that editorial. He said during an earnings call on Tuesday. He added that Walgreens aims to employ the majority of the workforce affected by the closures, though he says it's unclear how many employees will stand to lose their jobs. So I did a little bit of a cocktail napkin math here. So it looks like there are 200 Walgreens employees, approximately 240,000 employees. They're going to be cutting 1,200 of their 8,578 stores. That's almost 15% of their store locations. So if we take 240,000 employees and we cut approximately 15% of the workforce, that's just about 34,000 people that potentially stand to lose their jobs through these Walgreens store closures. So you guys leave your comment below. Is Walgreens going to absorb 34,000 employees and find them new positions when they're trying to cut back their expenses and cut back their costs? I find that very, very, very hard to believe. It says the company's shares jumped about 10% in pre-market trading. Understand, folks, we talk all the time on this channel about being susceptible to layoffs. If you work for somebody else, that is always a possibility. So layoffs usually send stocks higher. Cost cutting, shareholders love that, right? So again, it's a juxtapose between share price and shareholder well-being and shareholder agreeability, and of course the common folks that use the pharmacies, rely on the pharmacies, or maybe employed by these pharmacies. It says the company on Tuesday said it surpassed its target of cutting $1 billion in costs during fiscal 2024. which included shuttering underperforming stores, laying off employees, and here we go, using artificial intelligence to make its supply chain more efficient, among other efforts. So it's saying right here, it's using AI, yet it's also saying, well, we're going to try to absorb all the people that are going to potentially be on the chopping block in these closed locations or locations that are going to be closing, or absorb them somehow into the company. We're just unclear how that's going to happen. Guys, it's not going to happen. Okay, they're reducing costs. They're employing AI to make the supply chain more efficient. That means cutting heads. Okay. In June, Walgreens said it intends to close a significant number of its underperforming stores by 2027. Tuesday's announcement appears to be the company's first exact estimate of how many locations will close. The company reported net loss of $3 billion or $3.48 per share for the fiscal fourth quarter. That reflects the so-called valuation allowance meant to reduce the company's deferred tax assets, mainly related to opioid settlements. All right. It compares that with a net loss. Listen to this. Compare with a net loss of $180 million or 21 cents per share for the year prior. So this year, net loss $3 billion. Last year, net loss $180 million. All right. That's a drastic increase in net loss for the company. Yet, because of creative accounting or whatever, the stock continues to rise. Leave your comments below what you think about that. Walgreens expects growth in the United States healthcare and international segments, which will be offset by a decline in its retail pharmacy segment. The company is engaged in a multi-year process of reframing our relationship with pharmacy benefit managers, which negotiate drug rebates on behalf of healthcare plans and reimburse pharmacies for prescription drugs, Wentworth said during the earnings call. Walgreens hopes that it will improve margins in its pharmacy business. Listen to this. Notably, it says Walgreens posted a steep net loss in the fiscal second quarter as it recorded a hefty nearly $6 billion charge related to the decline in value of its investment in Village MD. In August, the company said in a securities filing it is considering sale of the provider. Walgreens' U.S. retail pharmacy segment generated $29.47 billion in sale in the fiscal fourth quarter, an increase of 6.5% from the same period last year. Analysts had expected, said sales of $28.09 billion. That segment operates the company's drugstores, which sell prescription and non-prescription drugs, as well as health and wellness, beauty, personal care, and food products. Walgreens said pharmacy sales for the quarter rose 9.6%, as comparable pharmacy sales increased 11.7% compared with the year earlier due to, listen to this, price inflation in brand medications. So you and I are paying more for any medications. I don't take any, but look at the middle class, lower class is being forced to pay more for their brand medications. Total prescriptions filled in the quarter included vaccines came to 302 million, a 1.7% increase from the same period a year ago. So again, we got more Americans, as we know, relying on prescription drugs as a result of their failing health. So prescriptions filled has gone up 1.7% over last year. It says retail sales fell 3.5% from the prior year quarter, and comparable retail sales declined 1.7%. The company cited challenging retail environment among other factors. Again, that is code for a broke consumer. We know that. I'll leave it there. About 9 minutes today. Someone commented on my yesterday's video saying that, 407 Elevens closing is not that big of a deal because they have thousands of locations. And my response was, I understand, in a vacuum, you look at one or two of these stories, maybe it seems like not that big of a deal. But look at every day we're getting announcements of hundreds and thousands of more chain stores closing, restaurants, retail chains, drug stores, you name it, okay? So it is, from my perspective, it's the cumulative nature of what's going on, all right? This is not indicative of the strong economy. We know that, okay? So everyone, just watch what's going on, pay attention. I'm going to keep coming out here and sharing this stuff as it happens. And look, at some point, if and when the news turns good, I'll share the good news. Right now, it's not good news. Have a great rest of your day today. Again, thank you for supporting the channel, liking, subscribing. I'll talk to all of you soon. Bye.